Hello and welcome to Celtic TV. Now you join us here in Paradise where just over my shoulder you can see the groundsmen are getting the pitch just perfect. Even though the boys are not in action at home this weekend, it's the return of Friday night football. And looking ahead to this week and joining me here is the Celtic View's Paul Cuddihy. Paul, always good to hear from you.
Yes, I'm just looking out at the groundsmen doing the pitch there, and I'm quite envious of them. And I think I've got a wee tiny back garden and I can't be bothered cutting it. So there's some amount of patience to get the pitch, and it's, as you say, it's always perfect.
Always looking perfect in Paradise, but it's a bit of a shame because this week it's the return of Friday night football and we're away from home up to Kilmarnock, so another chance for the boys to continue this winning run we have just now.
Yeah, although I think if you're going to be coming to the game on Friday, I would go down to Kilmarnock from Glasgow. Otherwise, I don't know where you're going to end up. You might end up at McDermott Park and wonder why it's so quiet. But no, I think Friday night football, the last time we played at Fir Park, we put on a blistering performance. And I think the manager's looking for more of the same. He says that you can feel the excitement growing around the squad. We're closing in on a third consecutive title, which is a remarkable achievement. It's been done very, very rarely in our history. So I think they just want to get the job done now.
I think we look back we say Friday night football, we just think back to that game at Motherwell where I think we were in the commentary booth, we were just so surprised how quickly they started, and I think that's the sort of performance the manager will expect again, obviously going down to Kilmarnock.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, both him and we interviewed George Samaras in this week's Celtic View, and what they both wanted was for us to start the way we did against Inverness Cali. Obviously the disappointment in Pittodrie, the result rather than the performance, I think was obviously the big disappointment. We certainly bounced back against Inverness Cali Thistle, produced a really, really good performance, and I think that's what the manager's saying. Look, we just need more of that, and we'll get over the line. It is inevitable that we're going to win the league, and obviously the players want to do that sooner rather than later.
With a few players away on international duty, but a couple get some time off as well. Do you think we'll see a refreshed lineup here on Friday?
I think the manager will stick with the strongest squad, and he's already indicated that once the title is secure, then he'll maybe start to look to give some of the younger guys a game. But at the moment, he's got the tried and trusted players and it's very hard to argue against any of them being in the team because the level of consistency we've shown in the league this season has been absolutely incredible. And these are the players that will get us over the line. And again, as long as they come back fully fit, and particularly if you look at the Scottish boys or even like Emilio Izaguirre, they're coming back on the back of good wins for their respective countries, so they'll be full of confidence. The managers have a full week to work with the players. They'll want to the first game of the weekend calendar, get the victory, and another 3 points and another step closer to the title.
And looking into this game, we could see something really remarkable. We might see a goal perhaps from Scott Brown, because he's certainly done it for Scotland, even with his left foot as well.
Yeah, it was a tremendous goal, and under Gordon Strachan, Scotland are doing really well, and Scott Brown, who kept the captain's armband, obviously Darren Fletcher was the recognised captain, but Scott Brown, I think he's played a captain's role for us this season. You can just see the difference in the team when he's there, and the players feed off that energy, and I'm thinking somebody's going to get a hat-trick, because obviously the last time we were at Rugby Park, George Samaras scored a hat-trick. We spoke to Lee Griffiths recently, and the last time he was at Rugby Park, albeit in the green and white of Hibs, he scored a hat-trick as well. So I'm not sure if Scott Brown that would be a remarkable achievement if he was to get the three, but certainly we'll be looking for the 3 points. Kilmarnock are actually a decent run themselves just now, and they'll certainly they've nothing to lose really. Obviously they're nearer the bottom of the table, but they're not expected to win, so I think they'll give us a tough game, but you would expect us to win.
You mentioned the Celtic View this week, Paul. Interesting catching up with Stephen Moyakolo, who of course arrived in the summer, but we heard from him during our Turkish training camp, but he is someone who could do with a little bit of luck, it seems.
Not even just a little bit of luck, I like a massive amount of luck, because there's all any footballer will probably tell you that is obviously talent, ability, hard work, but you just need that element of luck as well, and he's just not had that. And I think the one thing that's impressed everybody is just his attitude. I mean, he worked really hard in order to get a contract here, and was just starting to try and push his way into the team. Obviously there was a competition in central defence with Effie Ambrose and Virgil van Dijk, and then obviously he's been out injured for a while. But again, I think what has impressed everybody is he's just get his head down, he just kept working hard, and he just wants to get back playing. He's hopefully not too far away from full training with the squad, and a very articulate and intelligent guy, and I think everybody would just like to see him back playing.
One of my favourite quotes they ever gave when we were speaking to him is, it says, "What type of defender are you, Stephen?" And he said, "I'm not Laurent Blanc. I just like to head the ball and get it cleared." And I thought that was really, really nice about him, because I think he will fit in well to the way our defence sets up.
Well, it's interesting, in the interview because he talks about the kind of, not quite the football pedigree, but for example Claude Makelele was a friend of the family and he remembers meeting him when he was 11 years old, but he said when he was younger and he used to try and practice all the tricks and flicks, and then when he was in the French football academy they just kind of knocked that out of him and said, look, that's not what we want from our defenders. And so over a period of time he's honed his defensive skills to the detriment of other skills. But I think he showed in flashes while he was playing that he could have contributed something. I think he still thinks he can, and hopefully he will. But when you look at our defensive record this season and the two guys that are there, that's a really hard position to get into.
But it's interesting, he could be one of these people alongside the youngsters that the managers mentioned. If we do get the league title wrapped up as soon as we can, that the managers want to use his squad and give other people a chance.
Absolutely, and if he's fit, he'll be looking for a game. And partly, obviously, one of the reasons I think the manager wants the title out the way quickly as possible, because the season will be barely finished and we'll be back in again, and for the league, for Champions League qualifiers. So if he can give a lot of the players, especially the guys that have been playing week in, week out, Scott Brown is more or less an ever present for us this season. If he can give them an extended break in the summer, then they come back refreshed and ready to go again. And Stephen Moyokolo will be just one of a number of players that will be looking to try and get in. Beram Kayal was making his way back, played for the 20s last week. He'll be looking to try and get some game time as well. So I think this is where the advantage of the squad will come into play towards the end of the season. And of course, some of the young guys who are closing in on this league title will also be looking to try and get a step up to the first team.
Paul, as always, good to hear from you. Now, of course, the Celtic View is available from Wednesday this week, and do look on to the Celtic TV Twitter feed at Celtic TV. We'll be able to publish a link to the digital view, and join us on Thursday for the return of the Huddle Online. We'll all be joined in the studio by Mark McNally, who will reflect on his Celtic career. We'll see you then. Hail, hail.